Hi, Nicholas here. Welcome to the Akousunesis method. Today we're going to look at exercises for the intervals introduction video, which was lesson 2. So the first place you go to my website. So that's the home page we have up right now. And on the menu here, or up the top here, we've got practice exercises as seen in YouTube videos. So if you click that, it comes to a navigation page. And the exercises are just here, so you will just click lesson 2. Okay, so we're on lesson 2, exercise 1. So the formula's just below here, and we can see we're going to rise with the arrow here, and we're going to fall. And we're just playing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the major scale. So we already know how to play that, but we're just looking on how this works for new people too who are here. So the right T1 is right thumb on the first interval. And we've got the intervals here as well. Right, so if you're completely new and you haven't seen any of my videos, this is how we're going to work this out. So right thumb 1, right index 2, right middle 3, then T4, right, then I5 on the 5th index, then we have the middle on the 6th, we have the ring on the 7th, and the high 1 is your pinky, and we just roll that back. Now we only use these formulas to work out what we're doing with our hands, because these can get pretty complex, and this is a very precise system. It tells you exactly what finger on what note to play, and once you work that out, you look down and you practice it, right, until you get that little pattern and the muscle memory built into your head. So let's look at the left. It's going to be pinky 1, right? Ring 2, middle 3, index 4, thumb 5, and we swing over till I get our middle on the 6, index 7, and the thumb on the 1, right? And then we just rolled back down again. So this exercise, of course, is just the scale. So you practice your right hand, your left hand, and then we bring them together. All right. So and we've done that with our these scales. Let's look at exercise 2. So this is a little trickier. So we're looking here at the -5 and the +5, so the diminished and augmented intervals. Right? And our base note for all these exercises is going to be C. Right? Our base note, the root note, could be anywhere, right? Any one of the 12, but we're just learning at this stage. This is the first time we've seen this. So we've removed the right T1, and because we're talking about the right hand, we'll bring the right at the front here, and it looks less cluttered now. Right, so again, where the symbols were going up and back down. So what are we doing here? We're going T1, right? T1, thumb on the root of the exercise. That's the root of the exercise. It's also the bass note. Index on 2, middle on 3, right? Now ring on the -5 up here. There's the 5th. Remember the 5th rule? And we flatten that, right, to find the -5. Then we're going to move our thumb. We're going to flip under, move our thumb on the 5th, and then our index is going to be on the +5, right? There's that augmented chord there, right? And then we're going to come back, thumb, and then we're going to go again, right? So now we're just reading from right to left. So we're going from left to right, right to left, right? So we had our index on the 5, we had a thumb on 5, now we've got the ring, and you can see that just flows up and down. So you can practice like this. Once you've worked it out, then you look at your hand and we'll practice like this, and then thumb. And make sure you go just not too fast. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to learn to make mistakes. And you can do this to get used to that. And then come back down, right? Left hand. So what do we have? Pinky on 1, ring on 2, middle on 3, okay? And we practice that. Then we have I on -5. Index, there's the -5, right? We got T on 5. And then we got index on +5. So the index is on both. So we're doing that. So we practice that for a little bit. So index, so we're coming back down now. I on -5, M3, ring 2, 1. So we've worked out what we're doing now with our left hand. So you practice the right, then the left, and then you join them together. I'm going to leave that for you to do. I'm not going to do this right now. Okay. So, right, we got T1, exercise 3. So we're looking at the interval -3, okay? So we've got T1, I2, M-3, and then the thumb. So we're just doing that, right? Like that. That's an easy one, okay? Left, we've got ring. And what are we doing here, right? We've decided to do this. So ring on 1, middle on 2, index on -3, thumb on 5, right? We could have chose to do this, a slide. And I do some slides down there. But in this exercise, I didn't choose that, right? This is to get used to when your thumb is very close to your middle finger. You can see how it has to come in a bit. So your hands are very tight here because look, you got your little pinky. So this is a very tight maneuver here, right? Little pinky and your thumb, right? So, and you just do your hand like that. You move it. You'll get to work out how you hold your hands. You know, you'll work that out yourself in time. Okay, exercise 4 now. So we're looking at the -7 and the major 7. Okay, so root note C. So let's have a look. We've got T1. So this is a wide spread with your fingers now. I is -3. Right? Middle is 5. So that's quite a stretch there. Then we've got ring -7 and pinky on 7. Okay, so with this, we can cover quite a few chords here too with this shape of the hand because we've got C major 7, we've got C minor 7, right? Or sorry, C minor major 7. That's C minor major 7. That's their C minor 7, and that's C7. So we can cover quite a few. But this exercise, we're just doing that. Thumb, index, middle, ring on the -7, pinky on the 7. So let's look at the left hand. So you practice that till you get that going. And then we got P1, M-3, middle, thumb 5. Okay, so this is a bit tighter here. So why? Because we're going to move the thumb like this. We're going to do this. Maybe this hand wanted to keep on going up with a song. Because we could have done we could have had other choices. Now, if we did it like this, well, then we'd have to do that. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I've chosen this. Right. So again, we just use that to work it out. We look there, P1, M-3, okay, T5. Now, to get to the index to the -7, well, you're going to have to do that because there's no other thing you can do. This tells you exactly what you're doing with your hand. This simple little formula can tell you, gives you a lot of information of how to move your hand. So you got I on -7, thumb on T7. Very powerful, these little formulas. If you consider like a notation, you'd have to put a finger number on every note. It would look very cluttered. Of course, this is transposable, whereas the notation's not transposable. You have to rethink for every scale, every key, you have to rethink again. There'll be new notes. This one little simple formula you can transpose to all 12 keys. It's extremely precise. So that's a right hand, left hand. So we practice right, we practice left, and then slowly join them together. And when we join them together, we move slowly, okay? Because and we go like that. We just practice. We make sure we get our fingers right. So we got on the top, we got our index on the 3, middle, and then we're coming up here, right? And we just practice like that. And sometimes it's good to do this and get used to it. And then when we're the hardest thing is when you do these maneuvers, right? When your hand has to change shape, that's when it's always tricky, right? But you know, if you forget where you're gonna land on the left, you look again to work it out, and then you go, oh, it's the index. And practice that a few times like that, and then you go. And practice that a few times. Right? And that's how you join them together. You always take it slowly, and so you don't make mistakes. As soon as you make a mistake, when you went 2 steps back, you want to go 1 step forward, 1 step forward, 1 step forward. So you go very slowly. You don't want to go 1 step forward, 2 steps back, make another mistake, 1 step forward, 3 steps back. You'll be going backwards, and you'll be just learning to play it wrong. So we always go slow, and that's with anything we're learning, right? We don't want to get that muscle memory remembering mistakes, right? And it's the most effective. So you think it's, you're going slow, but you're strong and steady, slow and strong and steady. Exercise 5 now. So this is fun. We get fun here. So you can see that the arrows, right, are going up now and going down because the finger placements are different from when we're going up and coming down, right? From the previous one, we had the same going up and down, the same fingers on the same notes going up and down, but now we've got different things. And you can have as many of these up and downs as you like. As if you look at exercise 6, I think it gets more fun. And we're going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So we're changing direction. So let's have a look at 5 and see what we're doing. Okay, so we got T1, right? So with thumb on 1, right? Index on -2, I on 2, M on -3, and thumb on 3. See what we're doing there? So what we got here is a slide. Now we could have done this with our middle slide down, but I didn't choose to do that with this exercise because we're coming back this way. We could go up that way. When you're on the thumb, you're pretty versatile because you can go up. If you're in the middle of a song, you can go up, or you can go down. But if I was here, I could still go up by doing a swing under. If I was going that direction. It all depends on what song you use. You incorporate your pattern. Right. Now coming back down, we've got M on -3. There's a -3, right? We've got thumb now on 2. See what we've done there? Thumb on 2, then index thumb, like this. So once we work it out like that, when we're doing something trickier, coming back, then just do that a few times. So we end up on our thumb on... Excuse me, sorry about that. So when we're going up, we end up just before this little arrow here, right? We're on... And you can take this and start anywhere. You can just look and go halfway in between. We can go M -3, right? And then we'll say we're going upwards, so then we just do that. And then we go down, I2. And that's a good way to break up your muscle memory too, right? To understand what your fingers are doing, right? And then we build the muscle memory up. So we're trying to get understanding, and then we're trying to get muscle memory second, right? Understanding first, muscle memory second, right? So we're coming back down. Remember, when your muscle memory kicks in, your brain turns off. And that's fine. If you're playing really fast, you don't have time to think. You are relying on muscle memory. So when you see all those players on the internet playing really fast, that's pretty much muscle memory. But they could have got to that point by going slowly and thinking about what they're doing, right? What they think, what's happening. A lot of people just rely on muscle memory. Others start to learn a bit more theory. Theory helps you tremendously. It really helps you. It helps your muscle memory, Right? If you understand what you do, you're creating another memory association that helps your muscle memory and you learn things faster. Right? So anyway, so let's have a look at the left hand. So they're called slides, as we said. And they're fun when you're doing things like that with your hands, changing it up. So we're going up and coming down, we're doing something different. Left hand, what do we have? Ring, okay? We're starting with our ring finger, not our pinky, and the ring's going to be on one, right? A bit like some of our scales we had to start on our ring. So we got ring 1, middle, -2, and we've got another slide here on the left hand, right? And then we've got index. There's the index on the -3 and thumb on the 3, right? Now, because we can't slide up, we're changing it. We need to change what we do with our fingers to come back down, right? So first we do this, and then we're coming back down. So we're at this point here, right? T3. We change direction. Now we're on I-3. M2, ring, -2, and then ring 1. We slide on the last one. See that? Right, so that's a little trickier. So we'll go. And then 3. So index 3, M2. So you practice this. When it's something that you say you haven't done for, you've never done before. And I don't even think I've done this one before. Because I just wrote this today, actually. And by practicing something you've never done before, you're building a muscle memory, aren't you, for that little section, but you understand what you're doing. So when we're going up now, right, on the left, so we're ring, right? So that's how we do it. So these are very exact and very precise formulas, right? And they can get as complex as you want them to be. But you don't want to. We're trying to break things into tiny little groups of patterns, so we don't want them too complex. But a few notes like that, when your hands are doing stuff, and then it goes into your muscle memory, is good. And you have a little database of these little patterns built up. Let's look at this exercise 6 now. So this is the last exercise for this video. So again, right hand, we're going up, we're going down, we're going up and down. Okay, let's have a look at this one. T1, right? M4. So we're looking at the fourths and sixes. So the last lesson we're looking at the -2 and 2s, right? We're learning about those intervals. Now we're the 4, 6 and 5. Remember the fifth rule, and remember the previous lesson, how to find all your chords instantly. Lesson 18. So we fifth, a 6 is a tone up, and a 4th is a tone down, right? Very easy to find, right? So we're practicing that with this exercise too, right? So we're going T1, M4, then we're turning direction. We're coming back down again, right? Where it says T1. So I can't use the mouse and my right hand at the same time. But there's the first direction, and we're here, T1. So follow it. You can you can put this a tablet and follow at the same time. You can just jump to my website and try it for yourself. T1, M4, then we're going back down, T1, P6, pinky on 6, there's the 6. And then M4, and then T1. Right? So we're working out what we're doing here first, and then we're going to look at our hand, right? And then like that. And then we're listening for the melody of that. Right? So now we're using our ears to hear the melody, and our hand will build. So not only does the hand do a muscle memory on that combination, our ear if we remember the melody when we and to help remember a melody of a pattern, right? Because remember we're going to incorporate these in songs, so you can use rhythm on these now, and you can even play the same note twice, right? Sounds like a bugle call, doesn't it? Like the army or something. They probably use these intervals. I'm sure a 1/4 was used in some Western. And you'll know 4 and 6, right? 1, 4, 6. So why would it sound a bit like it was out of some Western? Well, it's like it's not resolved. It's a call for action, right? It's a call for action, and it's saying I want to be resolved to the 5, but so the 4 is wanting to go somewhere. There's the 5, and the 6 wants to go somewhere. So it's like do 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 do, and it sort of resolves to the 1, right? But these two are sort of the 4 and the 6. Pop songs use 4s and 6s all the time. They're always in there. They lift things up, and they usually sometimes they resolve. A 6 will resolve down to a 5, or it goes down to a 1. So all these things, you're not just doing little patterns. We're setting the foundation, setting the foundations with these exercises to develop your own compositions, right? And create your own music and understand what sounds good, rather than just relying on guesswork. Or when you're composing, you can start to recognize what sounds good, and you can start to use that in your compositions. Because if you know exactly how it's going to sound when you're composing, you're going to decide, at this point in the composition, I want it to be really sad, so I know what I'm going to do, but I want it to be uplifting but sad. So I might go up to a high -3. If I'm in a minor chord, I might do that's really sad. But I could be down here and then uplift it, go up to the top. I might not want to be as sad, so I might make it a minor with a minor third. Or it could be a major third. So there are high 3s and a high 2. Things you can do. All right, that's the right hand. Left hand, so it's the same with the left hand. So let's have a look. P1, index. So what have we got? Index on the 4. Oh. Right, so P1, index on the 4, P1, back down. So, I can use my mouse here because I got my right hand free. P1 is there. So we're going up. We start going up, right? We're going to go up. You could also put that arrow there on the right side of that P1. But because it's the start of the exercise, it doesn't matter. So because you press P1 and then you go, well, which way am I going to go now? Right? But you already know where to go. So P1, I4. Then now we change direction here, and we're going to come back down to P1. Right? Then we're going to go up to T6. That's your thumb 6. Now remember, these aren't to be used as crutches to play. These are only used to work out what you're doing with your hand. Right? You don't rely on this to look, and you don't write a song like, you're not going to write a song like this, a complete song. It's not how you're going to play. Right? So do, 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 and then back down to the I4. Right? So it's the same, but it's with the left hand. And then again, you join them up. All right, I'm going to make that the end of the lesson because it's probably going on too long. So these are going to be extremely useful for after you watch your video, your lesson video. I will have some exercises at the end of the lesson videos, but I'll have a link on the description of every lesson video going straight to my website, straight to these exercises, and you'll be able to practice. Now, I've got a tablet, and I've tested it on the tablet, the website, and I put my tablet in front of me. So the website is going to be a fantastic resource linked together with the YouTube channel into one system, and it's all part of the Akousunesis School of Music. And we're going to take you students, and we're going to develop we're going to do some wonderful, wonderful things with you, right? And so hop on board. My book's on sale for 25 Australian dollars. Once you purchase that, you're part of the school. And you can go at your own pace once you're part of the school, and you can email, correspond with me. If you communicate with me and talk to me about music, I'm happy to answer questions. So it's just a matter of engaging, and we'll develop together. But you'll see this, all these exercises are going to grow. There's going to be a lot more things. Then we're going to take some of these and we're going to incorporate them, expand. So we're going to expand into writing songs and composition. So there's a lot of things coming down the pipeline with this channel, right? And I'm still building it up. It's been building up for a month. I'm doing okay, I think, but it's still got some low views. So I've got to increase the engagement. And I'm trying to get better at making videos. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time.